Flight Sports TV, man. That's my dude. I rolls with him.
You heard what the man said. It's Flight Sports TV.
Flight Sports TV, that's where it's at.
Flight Sports TV.
What's going on, people? It's Flight Sports TV. I appreciate everybody for checking with me. You already know what it is, man. We back with another one of them things. We definitely need to talk right now. We need to discuss some Lamelo Ball, ladies and gentlemen. We had some Mitch Kupchak. Mitch Kupchak said a lot of crazy things and some remarks. We need to get into it. It was wild. It was a mess, man. We're going to talk about it. Before we do, it's Flight Sports TV. I appreciate y'all. We got a star-studded panel and a star-studded chat. I see everybody done rolled in here early. Salute to Josh Jackson, Rico. Shout out George. Teamwork is in the building. I see y'all. We got Zen Master. What's the deal, Zen? It's Flight Sports.
Hey, man, just coming off of that high of the Celtics taking out the Heat. What can I say? This is going according to plan. And that's where I'm at right now. I'm just enjoying my victory drink. What's good with y'all out there?
Right, yeah. Shout out to y'all. Are you aware of the news that came out? I believe it was about yesterday, a few days ago. Mitch Kupchak has stated some silly remarks. Did you hear those remarks?
Yeah, I believe what they said was they were not going to look for Lamelo Ball's input into a new head coach.
Right.
Which got to be the silliest shit I ever heard a GM say about his young superstar.
I even got quote for quote words this man was stating. It went around the lines of, he stated that no one will be consulted, none of the players. He stated when guys reach a certain plateau, that's when they can consult with them, when they accomplish these amount of things. It seemed to be like it's just trying to say that nobody on this roster is amounting to consulting them about nothing. They know nothing. I need to take over this whole goddamn situation and run it to the best of my abilities. That's what I'm taking from his rhetoric. You understand? And it's going to be troubling, to say the least, man. I don't see how these guys are going to survive this situation, with LaMelo Ball. I think they are just playing with fire at this point, for whatever reason. I don't see how this situation is going to end to the Charlotte Hornets' benefit. It's looking like it's going spiraling completely out of control. And they have some people, they got to make some decisions. If you got Mitch Kupchak so gun-ho like this, what is his thoughts on Miles Bridges? What if the asking price is too high? I'm starting to think about these things. The Charlotte Hornets could be in a complete different situation. And some of these coaching candidates I'm hearing, it's not sounding too pleasant. I haven't even heard D'Antoni's name like that. Now, is he still even in the running? I mean, who the hell have you been hearing? I'm hearing all kind of weird, silly names, man.
I heard D'Antoni last week. I haven't heard a lot since.
Yeah, the D'Antoni seemed to quell, for whatever reason. I don't know why, but I'm trying to figure out, where is this coming from? You understand? We all know the front office up there in Charlotte, led by, let's just keep it 100. Michael Jordan is controlling things out there in Charlotte. You telling me Michael Jordan ain't got shit to do with nothing?
No, it's his show.
He's a hands-on owner. He's not one of these owners who's sitting back watching.
And he extended Mitch Kupchak. If I'm looking at it entirely neutral, I'm looking at it from the perspective of, did the Lakers and the NBA give LeBron James way too much power? And is Michael Jordan and Mitch Kupchak refusing to give a player power in the organization again? Is it a reaction to what we see with some other organizations right now?
But I mean, that's what I'm trying to go with, man. It don't make no sense why Lamelo Ball is like. It seems to be a situation where he's just being held to a lower level by the organ. It's crazy that it's happening by his organization. You know, you would expect this maybe from some of the veterans in this league. And I think even some of the veterans in this league understand the potential and the stature of a LaMelo Ball. I don't think they're naive to this situation. It's just troubling to me to see the Hornets, the organization that he calls home. You understand? This home team, this is a team that drafted him. You
I mean,
understand?
from
I
a
mean,
customer standpoint, he's the customer. LaMelo's the customer. And they're not, what they're saying is, customer, we're going to give you the meal that we think you should eat, not
right.
the meal that you need to eat or that you had some input into and you decided what you wanted to eat that day. No, they're basically dictating the terms to him, and to expect a result from a customer with, like what I do in IT, to expect a good result, and I never sit down and talk to my customer about what the requirements are, it's stupid. I can't just set up a system without talking to you and knowing what you need. And it's
Right.
the same thing with basketball. How are you going to set up a whole system without consulting with
Consulting with the
the
man.
main player on your team?
Not only not consulting with him, so nonchalant and passive. You
Right.
understand? I mean, I don't know. I mean, you look at some of these young stars that came into this league. They, I mean, come on, they ain't been this dismissed. You understand? I mean, I'm pretty sure that there's a relationship behind closed doors between LaMelo and Michael Jordan. I don't know the extent of it. You understand? But I do. I know it's a
Mm-hmm.
relationship, and I bet that they, it's just not publicized. For whatever reason. But it would be nice to see a little bit more present. Vocally. And out and about. Am I right?
Yeah, he's not touting them very highly. I guess you could say that, and you don't see what you
Publicly.
might expect to see publicly. Like, yeah, this is our guy, and we're supporting him through his growth and process. It's very quiet, and then when you do hear something, it's dismissive like this,
Right.
and
And
that's
this is
that's
coming from
completely not
Kupchak.
right.
Where I'm pretty sure he didn't just it's wild. Rave Kingdom, what's the deal? We had some wild
Salute,
news
Ray.
up there in Charlotte. I'm not sure. Did you hear the news, or do I need to brief you on what's going on?
All of the reasons why I'm here. Oh my god. Oh my god. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to the panel. Rave Kingdom is in the building. The player from the Himalaya. Listen, listen,
Oh.
listen, listen, listen. Um, I think a lot of people don't remember. A lot of people seem to forget. A lot of people take this to the back burner. But see, what people have to understand and take in, they have to go back in the past. When LaMelo was playing that strong game, y'all don't understand. When they heard the news, if they don't make the playoffs, Kupchak and Borrego will be in trouble. That was music to not only LaMelo's ears, but to the team's ears. You guys don't understand it. Oh, y'all, what are you saying? They just threw the game on purpose? All I'm trying to tell you is this. Whether you believe it or not, you can't play for an organization that don't fully trust you or don't fully mess with you. The team itself, before Melo even got there, had issues with the office in the first place. They had issues with the coaching. Borrego, bro, we don't want to do this. What are you doing? Why our rotations are like this? We don't want to do this. All right, be quiet. Why would they throw a game on purpose just because they heard the news that they can finally get rid of that annoying system that they don't want to hear anymore? Well, here you see it. Borrego finally fired. You see Lamelo and my boy Rozier on social media getting lit. Go look at the tape. They lost and was in the locker room lit because they knew the boy Borrego was gone. And then you see it pure point blank in your face. You thought I was just making jokes up. Oh, what do you mean, Rave? Talking about they just lost on purpose. Look at it. Look at Kupchak. This guy in your face. You have a franchise star player. The guy you're supposed to support, like my boy Zen just said, a guy you're supposed to support, continue throughout, and build around. No, we don't want to talk about that because Kupchak is saying it in your face. I don't feel like we need to address with him. I don't feel like he should be added to our information on how the team is going to be ran for the next season. We don't really care about his opinions. Like, are you serious, bro? You're a franchise player, the guy that puts people's in their seats, the next up and coming. Oh my! But y'all don't want to hear me. We were just making it up. It was just laughter when I told you guys they was not going to play their best. When they find out the greatest information ever come in their minds that the staff can finally be fired if they lose that game. Now, I'm not putting everything on that game. But I just want y'all to see, without me even saying anything, you could pay attention right now as we speak. This is Kupchak. Look how he's handling the next superstar. Look how he's handling him. I don't have to say anything. I ain't got to say whatever.
It's a complete mismanagement.
Borrego is fired as we speak. What more information do you need to see in your face? I ain't got to say anything.
And he just got extended.
That's what I'm saying. Not only did he not get fired, they read him up.
I don't get what type of other information to prove to
I mean, they gotta have to put some pieces too around them. Not only get a coach, they gotta get some pieces because we can have all this nice shit, but I mean, he got to go attract some people. He talking real crazy. Is he gonna go out there and do what fucking David Griffin did when his back was against the wall? What he gonna do?
Kupchak.
Remember, David Griffin ass was on the hot seat, and David Griffin, I tell you what, he went from the hot seat to they damn near gonna have to extend him. You understand?
I don't know what Kupchak is going to specifically do. Maybe some pressure, like you said, maybe some pressure could make him, I guess, sit up a little bit in his chair and do right. Kupchak, so far he's in office. He has whatever power that he has. But I mean, Kupchak, bro, I'm telling you, these guys, man. I mean, you ever see they don't care about Borrego? He's gone, and I promise you, Kupchak gonna be in the way. He gonna be in the way too.
When I see Mitch Kupchak, Rave, I see one thing. I see old. That's what that picture says. He's old as shit. And his time in the NBA is probably over.
I say ego.
I see old. And a lot of these old guys will not adopt the new ways of doing things. They won't. Okay. And Jordan's traditional like that. He's only 56, but this is the guy that he hired and the guy that he kept. And he's got to be 70, 73, something like that. And he's got 73-year-old thinking. So no, you're not going to tell us what to do as an organization, young man. I'm 50 years older than you. That's his attitude. And you can see it on his face.
Yeah. Yep.
He still got that Laker carryover, don't he?
Yeah. Jordan's 59? I thought Jordan was 56. I don't know. I think Jordan's 56, bro. Let me check.
Man, that dude is wild. What is Jordan playing all this? What y'all think?
59. I think this is his friend.
What is Jordan playing this dynamic?
Well, Jordan played. I think okay. A lot of people want to put some things on Jordan. Jordan, he's an old owner, right? A lot of owners. I'm be honest with you. A lot of owners really don't fully pay attention until shit is starting to go like, what? Hey, what's going on? Like losing, people getting fired, arguments, media talking up. Then the owner's like, okay, hey man, a minute ago I just paid for this, paid for that. I'm expecting everything to be going right. What was popping? So I do expect Jordan to say something about all some of this. Will he do that though? Probably not, because we know Jordan. His business is his business, and he gonna handle it the way he wants to handle it. But I mean, he should say something, give us some type of information on direction, where he wants the team to do, where he wants the team to go. Um, his thoughts on everything. We definitely need that type of informational talk from him, because at the end of the day, this is his team that he paid for. He is the owner. When it comes to Kupchak, we ever heard where he stands? He still felt like Lamelo needs to be the back burner, I guess.
I think it's old guard versus, well, not old guard, but old guard versus young guard. And I honestly, when I look at Mitch Kupchak, I think rigid, old, 1980s, 1990s NBA thinking that don't work for these younger boys. And I think the same thing for Michael. I think he's probably stuck in his era, and probably tries to recreate his era, or at least have people around him who are comfortable. And if Kupchak is a friend, and salute to who corrected me in the chat, Michael is 59 years old. He's up there too.
Yep.
Everybody ain't good at this shit. And Michael needs to really, well, he should have took a step back at this extension of Mitch Kupchak, and he should have maybe consulted with a firm and got some candidates, and did an actual candidate search for his hiring instead of hiring his buddy back, who hasn't done a damn thing for him.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like y'all said, Lamelo fell in his lap.
Yeah.
You got Miles
I
Bridges.
think they wanted Wiseman.
Lucky for them, they got Lamelo, and then you got Bridges, and that's it. You really can't claim a whole lot of success or much of a future aside from those two players. Terry Rozier was a free agent acquisition, but he's going to be out of there in no time too.
Was he a free agent acquisition, or was he a sign? Yeah, I think he was, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not 100% sure. Was he a sign and trade? I forgot exactly.
I'm not sure. I know he came from Boston.
I don't even think it's important.
My entire thing is this. A lot of people said about LaMelo, he's a little wild. Can he be a little bit mature? Can he do what he does in a professional league? Can he be a professional? And here you have a guy that fell in your lap. No, he wasn't the guy that you wanted, but the guy that you got. You kept him on the bench, and he finally moved up to a starter, and he goes out there and gets Rookie of the Year. And then you go, well, maybe that's a fluke, but then he gets an All-Star. Wherever how y'all want to put it, he gets an All-Star. My thing is, when you realize all of those things, like, okay, hold up. Before we would even know who we was getting, but now that you do, now you see that you have the up and coming guy. That your guy that you picked up is now more commercials. He's all over shoe companies. I mean, they're ready for this guy. You know what I'm saying? He's everywhere now. Melo's a star. Every time you start talking about Melo, it's trending on something, whatever. You're literally, your seats is full, and I don't see no other jerseys. All I see is Melo jerseys up in that stands. And I mean, when you have that, when you finally realize you have the guy that you got the big pick of the draft, what's taking you so long to buy in? What's taking you so long to welcome your next franchise player that's going to hold it down, be the face of the Charlotte Hornets, be that guy that when people come in, that their children is going to be like LaMelo Ball. People to this day, as we speak, people from New York, people from whoever, people from who not even in America is yelling LaMelo Ball and the Hornets. They want to see this Ball brother do his thing. We got guys in our chat on Fight Sports TV going crazy. LaMelo. They loving LaMelo. So what's taking you so long to buy in? Because last time I checked, I'm not going to buy into something that's not worth something. But if I do find out that it's worth something, and I'm going to 100% buy into it. It's like investing. You're going to make a profit out of this guy. Buying into LaMelo, you're going to make a profit financially, business-wise, franchise-wise. Your franchise is going to glow up. Having LaMelo on your team makes ticket sales. Having LaMelo on your team has publicity. Having Melo on your team, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous how you don't buy into something that's going to make you not only money, but make you popular, make you the next big thing, put you on the map type player. This is the I put you on the map type player. And this is coming from me that don't even like the Hornets like that, but I'm telling you what you have right now. You have a gold mine in your hand.
Damn,
you have a
golden goose.
Mine. This dude is like that.
Golden goose.
And this is no fandom thing. If I didn't even know who LaMelo was, he's getting accolades. How young? Rookie of the Year, All-Star, first team rookie. Was a first team rookie.
Basically, like Morpheus telling Neo he ain't good enough.
What are we doing? I'm trying to buy in, bro. I don't get it. Why would you not buy into that stuff, bro? They bought in LeBron. You buy in on whatever star you have. Come on, what? So
salute Unstoppable.
No, salute. Man, Michael Jordan got to figure this thing out. Kupchak. I think, man, who knows? For all we know, we going crazy and they going to hire a real good candidate. Who's the coach, that could fix all of this? I think even if they were to hire a coach that people relatively liked, and they didn't improve the roster, there's still going to be problems there. I think they got to improve this roster. I think that's paramount. I think that's something that needs to be numero uno. The coach is cool. Of course, that's very important. But what are we going to do to improve this roster? Is it going to be a minimal improvement or is it going to be a homer? I don't know. What are we going to do? Look what David Griffin did in New Orleans. I'm just saying, David Griffin, I'm going to continuously say this. David Griffin literally went from damn near on the verge of getting fired to they have to extend him. How can they pull off a CJ McCollum? Of course, it won't be CJ to be a different player, but how could they pull off something like that? Where they don't even give up much. I think who the hell did they give up? Hart. They didn't really. They was able to keep her Jones, Alvarado. They still was able to. It's a pathway here on the Charlotte Hornets to somehow get somebody. They got the pieces on this roster. And they got some picks. They got some flexibility. You get a fucking third team. You get this thing done. The Hornets got to improve this roster come hella high water. So I just feel like he needs to match this bravado because this guy Mitch is talking big shit. You understand? I want to see the same energy when it's your time to go out and improve this roster, or are we going to be standing pat? Are you going to lose Bridges and bring back nothing? What's going to happen? Because that's going to be the tell. You understand, for these people. The Hornets, they got their work to do. This is going to be a wild summer for the Charlotte Hornets, man. There's a lot of decisions to be made. I expect the coach to get hired pretty soon too. I don't expect that. You got after this season, shit is gonna move, man. I can see the Hornets hiring a coach before the season even ends. But it's wild for them to come out and say that. I think that's kind of wild. You got
They need to swing for the fences.
I mean, all things point to this is the kind of player that you do this with. You feel me?
They need to swing for the fences, Flight.
With.
Stop playing it safe. Swing for the fences. You got nothing to lose. You're one of the bottom teams in the NBA. You've been that for a long time. What do you have to lose? Swing for the fences. Go on a luxury tax. Do whatever you got to do to get it done.
Yeah, it's gonna be wild.
My thing about
shout out Unstoppable, bro. So they're waiting for LeBron. Yeah.
My thing about the Hornets, to your question, I'm pretty sure the question a lot of people ask, how do you improve this team? It's a very hard question because, yeah, we brought up David Griffin, but it's nothing like David Griffin because I'll tell you why. Because he could move these contracts and stuff. The Hornets contracts are kind of complicated. They got a guy named Mr. Glass over there that has a horrible contract and a player that nobody wants, and that's hard to move on from. Miles Bridges, he wants a big contract. It's kind of it ain't that easy for this Hornets to make a huge switch because they have contracts.
Somebody will take Hayward.
Who?
Utah.
Somebody will take him. We gonna have to probably put a first rounder on it, or you're gonna have to give up Book Knight or one of these younger players. You're gonna have to attach something to this contract.
Like I said,
I know they're not gonna try to take bad money for bad money. I mean, you want John Wall?
Indiana. Good one, Slat. Indiana.
Yeah, Gordon Hayward.
You want Westbrook?
No, Gordon Hayward.
Gordon Hayward, bro. Y'all funny, man. Like, nobody went that.
You want to send Gordon Hayward to the corniest destinations in the NBA? Indiana, Utah. Sorry, Minnesota, but you're corny.
Look, y'all can say what y'all want. Nobody want no damn Gordon Hayward, and his contract is trash. So we got to figure that out. Find out what you can do with that.
San Antonio.
Just keep it or find a way to make a random ass trade with something. Then, I mean, it'd be hard to break up the band when the pieces aren't too bad because you got Kelly Oubre Jr. Now, I felt like was great. Kelly Oubre was great in that season. Of course, Lamelo Ball was great. Miles Bridges, he slowed down at the end, but he was great, or he was good. Rozier, he did what he kind of did last year. Play a good shooting guard, hit some good threes. You got to make a decision if you want to continue with him, and so and the Hornets, their biggest issue was one of the Bulls' issue. They need a big man. Hornets need a big man. The Bulls need a big man. So it's almost like if you get the Hornets a big man, do you really want to break up the band, or it's like do you want to just make one or two moves when you get a big man? You got to make a decision. It like your first when it comes to Hornets, the first decision will make it determine what you do for the rest of the squad. That's just how I'm going to put it on that. That first decision means everything.
Decisions got to be made. I think that's universal. Everybody believes that. This is wild though. I think the Hornets it seemed like it's building up. You had the Borrego situation, whatever. Like I said, I don't know if it's a situation with Jordan. I'm not going to say it is. But this situation with Kupchak, I think it's kind of alarming. It's too passive for me. I think he could have said something better than that, even if that was how he was feeling. He was like he was letting it be known. And then he even said, like, until these players accomplish this, and that. Leave me the fuck out of this. This is my shit. Basically that's how I interpreted it. It's like, yo, man, this is my shit, man. Y'all listen. Everybody gonna listen to me. These some little guys over here. They don't know what they talking about. They young. I'm gonna pick the coach. He was messing with Kobe for a minute. I don't know how his decision making really was up there in LA. You got a lot of cooks in the kitchen. I think in Charlotte, he really having some good domain, even though he got Jordan backing him. Jordan believes in Kupchak, but I want to see some roster moves. I think as long as Melo could get the keys, if Lamelo Ball could get the keys, I think he'll be straight. That's all he got to do is get the keys. And then now they got to get the goddamn players. Kupchak need to be concerned about the roster.
They should be involving him in both coach and roster construction.
Yes.
If they were serious.
Are they going to find players to compliment him? Or they got to accomplish this, and this?
So what I'm saying
is that why you hearing Westbrook name coming up and we like, what the hell is going on? Is it because he's not consulting anything with Melo or anybody?
I think
he's looking to get the best player available in the market.
I don't know. I think that's just cap as far as Westbrook. Everybody know Westbrook ain't going nowhere.
That'd be crazy if they fuck around and get Westbrook.
That'd be a revolt. Wherever he goes is going to revolt. Unless it's Oklahoma City. That's the only place he can get out and go to. But I think this is just like, again, I lean back on old world thinking. And if you look at LeBron James as the model of how you treat a superstar athlete in the NBA now, and in terms of the input that he should have, most younger helmed organizations or those that understand the changes would adopt that new mentality. But with these guys, what I'm seeing is they're stuck in their ways, and their ways are expiring, and they're going to have to figure it out in terms of how do I manage a superstar, or they're never going to have one that works there because they'll be gone. If you can't manage a superstar in your midst, or at least a star player in your midst, they'll be gone.
Right.
These guys ain't letting you fuck their career up no more.
What's good, Dax?
Yes, sir. Shout out to Flight Sports TV. Shout out to the panel. Shout out to everybody rocking with us in the chat via live stream or whatever medium or media that you choose to do it with. Yes, sir, Flight. I'm just be curious. Sometimes I know I'm a little tardy to the stream. Got a little mix up and had to take care of something. But I noticed that the likes are not comparable with the views. And if y'all just hanging out and not hitting the like button, then maybe y'all should bend the block and park somewhere else. You know what I'm saying? But when you're on these flight sports streets and you hugging our block, then you should, pay some homage and hit the like button. Well, I mean, what are you here for? You're taking up space. Let somebody else get in there. Yeah. I think honestly that Lamelo in his second year, the way that the Hornets are structured, I'm talking about organizational wise, the way they are structured organizational wise, they have an old school mindset. Most of them are from the Good Old Boy Network. They're down there in Tobacco Row, and they don't feel the need to consult any young player. And some players to that nature. You heard Mitch Kupchak speaking about you have to be this and you have to be that 10 years in, and then we think about it. I mean, all the horse hay that you can imagine. You know what I'm saying? We all know what horse hay is. Buffalo chips. All the buffalo chips that he's spewing out of his mouth. But at the same time, if that's the way they think, you can't be mad at it if that's the way they think, because the results are the benefit of their works. And we've seen that the Charlotte Hornets has been at the bottom tier of the Eastern Conference for a mighty long time. And even with the advent of the aggregated talent of LaMelo Ball, Terry Rozier, Miles Bridges, PJ Washington, Gordon Hayward, and company, they still are flirting towards the bottom of the tier and definitely a bottom feeder when it comes to extending their season. They're the 10th seed last year, they're the 10th seed this season, and they got bounced out both times embarrassingly. So that mindset of Mitch, good old boy Mitch, you know what I mean, and good old boy Michael Jordan and company, this is why you are in the position that you're in, and you can basically predict the position they'll be in next year. Now, just think about it. If Mitch Kupchak said he did not consult with nobody, he didn't speak to nobody, that's including their best player, that's $120 million. So at least you could have consorted him. If you don't consort anybody, consort Gordon Hayward. I know how we feel about Gordon. Trust me, I know how we feel about Gordon. And you know what? I'm in consensus with those feelings. I relate to you. I'm very empathetic towards Charlotte Hornet devoted fans as well as Mellaholics. I understand the Gordon Hayward dynamic. But Mitch had the mitigated gauze to say he ain't talked to nobody. So apparently he don't give a damn. He gonna pick who he want and is riding on his shoulders. And he said he only got a couple of more years left for this crap. And he's done. You understand what I'm saying? So it looks like he's already riding off into the sunset. And he's doing he feels he's doing Mike a solid. Not the organization, not that he's is a privilege to be amongst that organization. Mitch is having the mindset that, hey man, I'm a Laker. Okay? I ain't no fucking Hornet. I'm a Laker. I'm a champion Laker as a player and as an executive. So this crap that's going on down here, yeah, only reason why I'm here because I'm from here. You know what I'm saying? I play college ball here. So hell, I'm part of the good old boy network from Tobacco Row, and I'm doing Michael a solid. That's how Mitch is approaching this. And we need to understand why LaMelo feels the way he feels, because Mitch is approaching it in a way is that he don't see no superstar.
Mm-hmm.
You're right about that. That's sad.
I'm gonna say, okay, I understand. There's the top teams, the big markets, whatever. But even if you're a small market, I still don't give you an excuse, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because GMs really make me mad because I blame you so much. And I can off the bat I can name two small teams. I'm gonna say Orlando Magic and Detroit. Why am I naming those two teams? Do you know what you can do with that? Think about the old banner or the old label or whatever you want to say. I forgot what it's called. But if you can look at the old banner from back in the day, what Detroit banner is, and then look at what Detroit banner is now. The now banner from Detroit is so boring. The Detroit Pistons have variety of colors in their label. What's the name? What's the name for it? It's not label.
What?
But what's the name for it?
Yeah, I was saying, what you talking about?
The logo. The logo. The Detroit Pistons have tons of colors in that logo. If you look at what they did with the Detroit Pistons logo before and look at it now it's boring as hell. If you want to attract superstars, if you want your franchise to be big or better from whatever it is, from the bottom, wherever it is, you got to make it attractable. Orlando Magic, oh my God, some of those jerseys are good. You got talent in Isaac and Mobamba. You're in Florida, a.k.a. the beach, a.k.a. the baddies. Are you telling me you can't create something in Orlando that makes it attractable to come to Orlando Magic? So I really blame the GMs. Here we are in Charlotte. That's why I'm saying this, because Charlotte is connected to this as well. Hornets can be attractable. You got talent in Lamelo Ball. Dex has ran off the information of why Hornets. That's Queen City. You got the baby blue. There's a whole bunch of people like that baby blue color. These things you can do with these things. All I'm saying is, if you want to make it, you can make it attractable for anybody to come. But if you don't do that, then and you're suffering, then it's really your fault. To me, I feel like it's the GM's fault, and there's no excuse. I get it. Everyone, some teams have bigger markets, and they're top dogs. You know, Lakers and Celtics multiple championships. I get it. But if you want them smaller guys, you ain't really had that many championships. You can still make yourself attractable. And this right here, going with Mitch, is just an example of the importance of you got to fix the inside before you can fix the outside. It's an important issue. I mean, people typically be talking about, okay, let's make moves with the players, but come to find out, you got to make moves that run this shit. That trying to make, like, how do you have a guy? How can you make the Hornets attractable when you got Mitch out here saying and doing what he's doing right now? That means you can't trust that. No top player can trust that.
Shout out to the panel. My fault, Rave. Respect to Rave, bro. Shout out to the panel. Shout out to the chat.
Shout out Belize.
Rave, guys. Yo, I just wanted to chime in on what you were saying, Rave. Like, you made a straight point with the GM. I totally agree. Like, you definitely blame the GM in these situations. Like, Charlotte is definitely an attractive city. I think it's not like, I know it's not a big market, but it got little things like Atlanta's more so a big market, but it has little things like J. Cole, the baby, like that's hot right now, especially trending, and LaMelo is in that same trending space, you know. And again, you do have an owner in Michael Jordan that's black owned, so teams like I think will attract to want to go to that, but the GM, I mean, man, like that was tough. Like, how do you say something like that? And like, you saying he's not top 10, like, you know, like that's like people could even argue that. Like, all right, what in position wise? Like, come on, give me 10 players point guard right now that's better than LaMelo. Like, you know what I'm trying to say? Like that could lead a team too as well. Like, and what factor that also, you know, could sell shoes, that could sell jerseys, that's a rookie of the year. Like, so that was wow. Like, it's like, and that's from the GM, and it's like that's like so disrespectful. Like, I don't know how you even recover from that. And like, it's like he already said, you know what he said before at right after the season was over. He was speaking on like the interview in the Slam magazine, you know, how he went to Keys, and you know he's made promises and his jersey number, and these are just little things that's like how your star player don't get these things. Like, he was your third pick. Like, I understand you didn't want to draft him and all of these things, but then it's like he wins rookie of the year. So then his second season, like, it just didn't make no sense. Like, you seen what was happening with his brother. I always speak on that because that summer really happened. And people, to me, like, it's like they forget that they was all on Jello wave. Like, and I felt like at that point, what they looked at it was like, yo, we can't let this happen, because if we let this happen, we really not going to be able to control the narrative or control anything anymore. So they try to block it, and that even worse. Good because point. Then it became all-star of the, you know, it's like, and then it's like, if you look at the votes, right, from the fan votes, he had the 10th most votes out of all of the votes of all of the NBA players that voted. His number was number 10, like at the end of the day. But position-wise was why, you know, he couldn't get in. But out of all of the, like, that's crazy.
Which was bullshit in itself.
Oh, I know I'm chatting on it, but it's just like, wow, bro. As a GM, I'm just saying that was just cold-blooded.
I said it earlier. On my takes earlier. I said, how do you not buy into this guy? Like, I get it. He wasn't the guy that you wanted to pick, so he fell in your lap. Maybe you felt the first season was kind of a fluke, but the man now also got All-Star. The man is now giving you revenue and money because he's all over commercials. He's all over this. The man about to be on a TV show soon, probably. That's probably in the works, and we don't.
But he
even
was
know.
already on a TV show. Like
No,
that was a
I get
thing.
that.
He came
I got
from
that.
that.
No, I'm
Like,
just
that's
saying.
I
crazy.
think a point is being missed. I think a real important point is being missed. I just spoke about how Mike and them is part of the old rignet of the NBA, that oligarch with the mindset of never let the criminals run the prison. You follow me? Or the inmates run the prison or asylum, if you want to be a little more softer with the euphemism. Let the inmates run the asylum. And listen, a small market like Cleveland, right, was probably a bigger market than Charlotte. Once LeBron got a hold to the game and understood how to move forward in the shark infested waters, Dan Gilbert didn't have control of the team.
Yep.
That was LeBron's team.
Yep.
You follow what I'm saying? And he was basically forced to step out the way. LeBron firing coaches, hiring GMs, or bringing in whoever he wanted to bringing in guys that was questionable, guys that had questionable lifestyles and things of that nature, as far as being a part of that, protecting that shield and the brand of the Cleveland Cavaliers and things of that nature. Those guys do not want this to happen again.
But you know,
And
my
this is
argument to
hold
that
on one
real quick.
second, please.
Okay, my fault.
Okay, hold
Go
on one
on.
second.
Sorry.
Just hold your horses for a second. Those guys do not want that type of outbreak to happen again. You follow what I'm saying? And if you're looking at it from an egotistic standpoint, you can't blame them, because they feel in their mind, I built this. I built this before you was known on the NBA circuit. You feel what I'm saying? I built this when you was still wetting your diapers. So what do I look like allowing some little, I'm gonna use the language that they normally use, some little new wave punk coming off the streets, running my organization, running amok, and then it's no telling that he can leave in 4 years or even 8 years. And now I gotta clean up the mess for another 5 to 6 years just to get back to where I am now.
But what
Do
did
I
you
want
build?
that?
But what did you build before he got there?
Whatever
Well,
he has. You follow what I'm
no,
saying?
he
That's why I
didn't
say
have anything. But see, that's what I'm saying.
no,
He
don't
didn't
say
build
no,
anything.
Belize. Don't do that. Don't do that.
What?
You telling me owning the NBA franchises don't have anything?
No, I'm saying what he built while owning the franchise. Like giving the keys to the basketball point, like he's not gonna own the team. Like there's no way he could take the ownership from the team or anything like that. It's just saying that from the basketball perspective. Like, so it's like, what did he build basketball wise? He had Caleb Martin there. I mean Cody Martin there, and then had his brother Caleb Martin there, undrafted on the team, and they played together. And they
But
didn't do
being
anything and make the team any better.
but go a little deeper. Being an NBA owner in itself is a hell of a feat. Okay, because this is a private network. It's not a public network. It's a private network. And if you know
Understand?
about business, get into a private sector that automatically makes you a billionaire. How rare is that? That's like almost
Understand.
that's like almost
Understand.
getting it being a part of a
But
royal
I'm trying to
Saudi
understand
family.
what you're saying from the basketball. Like, what did he build for the team? That's why you're hindering Lamelo from being a better player and getting his team better by
But see, that's
asking
what
him.
we want
What?
as fans. That's what we want.
No,
We
I
want
mean, but
our
what?
guy to, stand out amongst others. You know what I'm saying? But from there, I'm just playing devil
Nah, I feel
advocates
you.
from
Nah,
both
I feel you. I
perspectives.
respect it.
I'm
I
not saying
respect
what
it.
he's doing is right. So don't get that
No, of
twisted.
course
I'm not
not. Of
saying what
course
he's
not.
doing is right.
I would hope
We
not.
all
But
know
yeah.
Melo's my guy. We all know Ball family's my people. So
Mhm.
so let's just get it from a business perspective of how I'm saying that he had this team when Melo still needed someone to change his diaper. You
But this
understand
is
what I'm
what I
saying?
write. So now, right? But this is what I'm saying. So now, from a business aspect, right? So now, yeah, he had the team. He still had the team, right? He's gonna have the team when Lamelo is gone, which he's probably gonna be gone in the next couple of years because you're not doing right by him, right? Again, but now you do got him, right? And business aspect, did he bring more sales to you? Of course. COVID year, it was no fans, so you didn't get to see, how he get to bring fans in or whatever like that. So all right, cool. Next season, he bring fans. Rookie of the year, he brings with that as well. And then he makes the All-Star team. Now, what All-Star we had before on the Charlotte before that you can say, oh well, we got All-Stars. It's not like that's just, you know what I'm saying? Like that was there. That was proven. Yes, he made the play in both times under Borrego. Now y'all realize y'all gotta fire him, and because he clearly wasn't moving the team in the right direction. So the guy asks the question of, now that it's a players league, like, you know what I mean, he like knowing that, you know what I mean, that you're supposed to ask your star player, and he was specifically, for him to say that, I wouldn't even mention.
See,
like,
you skipping over something. You're skipping
right,
over something. I don't know if you're skipping over it purposely or it's just,
Yeah.
incidental.
go ahead.
Remember who they consider their best player. Always keep that in mind now.
All
Who
right,
they consider their best player, not who we consider.
all right, all right. So, right, again, right, for you to even say, if that was the case where you say your best player is the Gordon Hayward, right, but they said they didn't even talk with him neither.
Thank you.
So again,
Thank you. There
disrespectful.
lies the problem.
Like, so again, it's not like they rebutted and said, no, our star player is Gordon Hayward, and no, we didn't speak with him neither. We don't, whatever. But it was more like LaMelo's not even worth talking to. Like, that's how it came off to me.
Thank you. Now we get into the crust of it. Yes, exactly. The
That's
good
what
And
old
I
to
boy
think.
me,
mentality. Remember, I said that now.
not right. But then it's like, how, if he's making you all this money? So then, you know what I'm saying? It's just weird.
That's why I can't have sympathy for uh
And
for
wait, my fault,
for
my fault, right?
market.
Before
I
you go
can't.
cook, I just want to say this last part. And didn't they just like give him a max deal? Uh, the general man, didn't he just get a max or something? Like they re-signed him, right? Because contract was up. Kupchak, right?
Oh,
Mitch Kupchak,
yeah,
like he
they extended
re-signed,
him.
like so he's officially staying there, right?
Yeah, I told everybody
So,
that. I
and
mean,
that's
people listen. Believe people
crazy.
was all on this YouTube landscape talking about Mitch is next, the dominoes fall. I was like, where you guys getting this from? Where can you see Mitch is next when Michael begged the man to come there? Help me, Mitch. We alumni. Help me. You see everybody fucking me over, Mitch. Where do you get that from? That he's just, that's why I be saying these dudes are so wrapped up in their cultish mentality that they don't even look at the whole landscape of the thing. They don't even go 2 or 3 years down the line before Melo even came into the league. Why the hell Mitch is over there in the first place?
No, I get all that. I get all that, but
Shit
then
is
that's not.
sad.
But that's not like LaMelo's fault that they like he's trying to just build them out of their funk. So it's like more so they should be kind of like appreciative of it. You feel me? Because Memphis was in a similar situation. I don't know the owner there, but I'm just saying from a basketball perspective,
I
like
was you said Memphis?
Memphis, there was more before Ja got there. You see what I'm saying? And then Ja got there, and now he developed himself to show. And they're not treating Ja with. You think the general manager from Memphis would say something like that about Ja? Ja only been in 1 year old, 1 year in the league before. You think better yet, you think they would say that about RJ Barrett in the Knicks? If we were changing the coach from Tom Thibodeau right now, they would definitely speak to RJ and Tompin. At least they would, if even if they lying on the press, they would at least say it.
But
They
that's
would
what I'm
not
trying to explain
disrespect
to
the
you, Believe.
player.
You trying to reason with somebody who is staunch in the
Now I
mindset
get it.
of
I get it. I
I'm
get it.
from the good old boy network. I've
It
been
is.
playing basketball since the 70s. I won championships with Magic, Kareem, Jamal Wilkes. You understand what I'm saying? I don't won championship with some of the best players ever. I was tutelage under the auspice of Jerry West, one of the best minds of talent evaluator to ever ha- have the
And
game,
Magic Johnson would tell
besides
you
Red
that
Auerbach.
LaMelo is the guy. Magic Johnson would tell you LaMelo is the guy.
But but
That's your
but
guy.
listen, but listen to
Yeah,
what I'm
but
trying to get to you now.
I get it. I
These
understand that.
people feel that their accolades supersedes the LaMelo Ball.
right,
Only time will tell.
right. I'm gonna go with Dex. I'm gonna go with Dex on this one. I mean, this is more than just Lamelo Ball. Kupchak, you've been here for a while. You're supposed to make moves before Melo even came there. And
That's
I
true
think
too.
and Belize, you're so focused on the Melo because I know you fuck with Melo, but this is more than Melo. Dude,
Currently wearing my NBA.
dude, what are you doing? You're a GM that's supposed to make this team attractable. What are you saying to the other people that's looking at the Hornets? What are you saying? Hey, I'm your office that is supposed to run things on a business side of things. And here I am saying and exploring these things out and saying, who cares? I don't give a fuck. I'll do what I want. You get what I'm saying? This goes more than just LaMelo Ball. We ain't gotta keep bringing up LaMelo Ball because it's more. It's bigger. You're the business standpoint of things.
Well, his name was mentioned in the
This
conversation.
is your organization, and you're saying what you're saying, and this is why I'm saying, like, I have no sympathy about when you don't have an attraction to your team, because here you are, you have your job. We say it all to the players all the time. You get paid, you do your job. We say this. We should be saying the same question to the office. You get money, you get revenue, do your job. Like, it's that simple.
So if that's the case, the best coach they could do to save them right now, in my perspective, if it's not Mark Jackson, which they probably won't do because LaMelo already kind of made that name, like that's who he wants. So now he definitely probably won't get that job, respectfully. But it will be D'Antoni. If they pull D'Antoni up and they sign D'Antoni for like maybe a 3-year deal or something like that, that will solidify, like, all right, they made a step in the right direction for me.
If they hire D'Antoni, then they don't give a shit about LaMelo Ball. If they hire D'Antoni,
You think so?
yes.
Yeah.
And this is why. That's another way out, wacky, dead bone, insatiate take on some of these content creators. All D'Antoni gonna do is have the boy run up and down the court. That's not working on LaMelo Ball's game. If LaMelo Ball wants to be the greatest, right? Because that's the journey he's on. I want to be the greatest or one of the greatest. I want my name to be, immemorable. You know what I'm saying? Immortal, far as etched in the NBA stone of the top, whatever it is, by the time that he's finished his career. Top 100 or something, or top 125 or something like that. You know what I'm saying? D'Antoni will be the worst thing for him, because D'Antoni is a myopic, Cyclops type coach. All he want to do is have his creative offense run up and down the court 7 seconds or less, and that's it. LaMelo needs a coach that's going to work with him on all aspects and facets of the NBA basketball landscape, not just run up and down the court. You follow what I'm saying? Because he can already do that. That's something we know he can do.
Now, here's my
He
thing.
didn't have him do that with James Harden. He wasn't running no 7 seconds.
That's what
less
I was going to say.
He just gave him the ball and let him do whatever he wanted to. So why it can't be the same?
And that's one of the things that's worse too. Look at James Harden.
No. But here's
What
this.
about James Harden?
That's a bad example.
Wait, Ray, because I'm asking, because I'm not joking. That's what I'm asking. What's wrong with giving the ball to LaMelo and letting him do what he wants with it?
And create
because first of all, doing that does not make him better. Doing that will get his stats.
Experience. It would be the same thing that Luka does.
So now look, right? This is what I'm
give
saying.
Him that will give him stats. He will be statistically better, but it won't make him an all-around better player.
And now,
because
right?
that if we look at James Harden, now that he's not able to do that, and it looks like he fell off a massive cliff.
The difference is, right?
He's younger.
He's younger.
It's not Luka doing the same thing too.
But hold on.
Yeah, Luka's
younger.
Luka's doing it, and he's successful in the playoffs. What's the problem?
He's
younger. He's successful in the playoffs. He hasn't been over the hump yet.
He hasn't won a championship, but he's successful in the playoffs, Ray.
I totally disagree with you, Rico, on that one.
Okay, tell me. Hold up. Tell me 1 year that he's so far been over the hump in the playoffs. Not 1 year.
He's in a conference finals right now.
Okay, and he might not win this.
Okay,
But
so
you
you're
know
mad
what?
he's not.
Hold on. Listen to me.
No.
Okay,
His
listen to
second
me.
best player is Jalen
Okay.
Brunson, and
Bro,
you're saying his play style doesn't work because he's not going to win a
but
championship.
listen to
That
the
doesn't
coach.
make
Listen
sense.
to the
Bro,
coach,
he's
Jason Kidd.
listen to me.
Look
Listen
at
to
the
me.
coach, Jason Kidd.
Listen to me. The way Luka looks, he is one of those guys that's going to look very, very good, dropping 60, 70 points. It looks good. It looks good. But he will
Dave,
be
you
that
preaching
guy.
to the choir.
That
You're
will
not
be your
educating
only
nobody right now,
Right.
bro.
But
You know what's
listen,
crazy?
the coach is what I'm saying
you're
that
not.
made the
You know what's
difference for
sad? You know
him.
what's sad?
The coach
It's
is
sad
made the
because
difference
his
for Luka.
career,
That's what I'm saying.
his career is probably going to go just like, well, not just like James Harden's, but it's going to be like James Harden's where he's going
he'll be a great fantasy player.
to be championship list, and he's going to be all that guy who's static.
How can you say that?
Numbers.
But look,
Okay,
what D'Antoni would do for LaMelo,
bro, when he loses this
would be
series,
help his offense.
you're gonna see
I picked them to lose this series already, Rave. What are you telling me?
Exactly.
I told you the Warriors were going to come out the West. You told me they wasn't. Like, what are you telling me?
Okay, yeah. The Moors definitely surprised me. Okay, I'm not disagreeing in the highest ways. I'm just saying when it comes to Luka.
We're not talking about Luka though. We're just saying what's wrong with letting LaMelo run the offense.
Look, and I also feel with D'Antoni.
Listen, you can hold on.
He's not Marcus Smart. You don't want to make him a system point guard. He's not Tony Parker. He's better than that.
Right.
Listen, I remember in Houston Rockets days where you couldn't say shit about no damn James Harden. Okay, you couldn't say anything because he was looking fucking good. He was scoring on everybody. He was the scoring.
That's not true.
Okay, all right. You can say whatever you want because that's
also passing.
You can say anything about that dude.
Bro.
Okay,
that's not even true. That's not true at all. Kobe Bryant went out of his way to say that his play style wouldn't work. What do you mean you couldn't say nothing about it?
And Luka shit won't work too.
Okay, but that's right now. He's in his third or fourth season, Rave. Like players grow over time.
Yeah,
everybody know Rico. Everybody know that Luka will have to make adjustment. Once he get better players around him, he's going to have to make adjustments.
You're not telling me nothing. And I was the first one to say that.
But
I was the first one to say he was a number two until he learned how to play off ball. But that's not my point. That's not my point. I'm not saying let him run a 5 out. That's not what I'm telling you. What I'm saying is Mike D'Antoni is the only coach in the NBA who will give his point guard 100% of the ball and let him do whatever he wants. Now, LaMelo may not want to play like James Harden, but at least he has the option if he wants to. What's wrong with that?
Remember what he did with Steve Nash, and because also let's keep in mind
exactly like Steve Nash wasn't taking 30 shots.
But hold on, let's keep in mind
Steve Nash didn't win anything.
But
it doesn't matter. We're not talking about winning. We're just talking about his play style. What is wrong with LaMelo?
And nobody look at Steve Nash as being the greatest point guard of all time.
But he's going to leave Charlotte anyway. So with that being said, that's why I said with D'Antoni being there, at least that will give him the offense,
the reps,
right? Everything he needs to learn to leave.
I don't
because
listen.
He's leaving anyway.
So basically, you guys
he's not Marcus Smart. Why do you guys
can't be
like
just
that?
Basketball fans, right? The way you talking, you just LaMelo Hollis. Fuck everything else. As long as LaMelo get his.
No, that's not what I'm saying at all. What I'm saying is What I'm saying is he needs in his prime, whether y'all want to admit it or not, he's not gonna play like Chris Paul. He's gonna have a green light to shoot. So why not we go through that growing pains now early in his
how the hell you gonna say that?
He's not Chris Paul.
So what the
he's
fuck
more
is
of a
Chris
scorer.
Paul?
He's more of a scorer, bro. He's LaMelo Ball is not trying to come out every game and average 18 points. He's not.
Listen, LaMelo is only 20, right?
He's an amazing passer, but he's
compare,
a 25 point per game scorer.
Rico, hold on. You can't compare a 20-year-old to a 36 or 7-year-old, right?
I'm not.
Because
Dex,
different
to early in their career.
Form of maturation throughout their career.
Dex, I'm comparing them to early in their career. I'm not comparing them to at 37.
Okay, I believe. But Chris Paul is only what, 6'1"? LaMelo 6'7".
You're not talking about nothing, Dex. We're just talking about play style.
But that's what I'm saying. Chris Paul probably have to learn to play that way. Based on his height.
Allen Iverson didn't have to.
That's what I'm getting ready to get to. Thank you. That's what I'm getting ready to get to. I'm glad you got me on my rendezvous point. Allen Iverson was a freak of nature. Allen Iverson said out of his own mouth, I'm really a football player. of a football player masquerading as a basketball player.
I don't.
Chris Paul ain't never said nothing like that. He ain't got no talent like that. If you go back, see, I was around when Allen Iverson was in high school. When you could read the USA Today and see he was a #1 prospect coming out of Virginia. You understand what I'm saying?
Bad boy.
So Chris Paul ain't nothing like that coming out of what Chris Paul, North Carolina? Yeah. Coming out of nothing like that. You can't even match Chris Paul talent to Allen Iverson talent. Allen Iverson was that good playing his second best sport.
That nigga's in practice.
That's Chris Paul, #1 sport.
Too,
you feel me?
So you telling me LaMelo Ball isn't more like in his prime? He won't be averaging.
Ja is more like a Allen Iverson.
No,
he's probably the closest to Allen Iverson
I'm not
today.
saying he's more like Allen Iverson. That's not what I said. I didn't. I'm just saying he's more of a scorer. You're telling me in his prime he's not going to average like 25 points?
Who?
LaMelo.
Of course he should. He's 6'7".
So, all right.
He's going to be basically, unless the NBA changes.
That's my point.
If the NBA changes more into the Cade Cunningham types and all these new tall guards that's coming into the league, then that's be a different story. Now he's playing with people his size. Maybe he might alter his game. But when you look at LaMelo Ball towering over the guards that's guarding him, why not? Because that's a total advantage every possession. Chris Paul don't have that. He don't have a total advantage every possession. He's only 6'1". Magic Johnson had an advantage at every possession, right?
But Borrego not coaching him like that. But I think D'Antoni will.
I'm glad somebody understand.
But D'Antoni will. And that's what I'm saying. That's why I said if they move with D'Antoni as their coach, that will be saying that they're giving it like basically the green light to LaMelo without saying that, because
#2 ain't #1.
And then now when it's all said and done, right? That's why I say a 3-year, because then with that will show, all right, if they serious with LaMelo and the offense and everything like that. And then they can move they can move in a good direction moving forward, and they could re-sign him or whatnot. But if not, he was going to leave, and that what he learned from
he already knows what he's going to do, Belize. He already know he just following the plan. He already knows what he's going to do. So basically, what I'm saying to you, what I know of, he don't even give a damn who the coach is. Trust me. I'm gonna put it out there like that. LaMelo, LaFrance Ball, don't care who the next coach is, because he already got his plan on how he's going to move throughout the NBA. He don't care what Charlotte's doing.
That's wild disrespectful to say.
No, it's not, because you know why it's not wild?
It definitely is, Dex.
You know why it's not wild?
Not a good rhetoric.
I understand you want to get at it. I understand. Listen, I want to say he already has his blueprint.
So that don't.
You think LeBron? You think LeBron?
Have a blueprint. You can have a 3D model. You can have whatever you want. That's not a good rhetoric to have for a young player.
Work
I don't
out the
give a fuck what the
contradictions
coach thinks.
Let's work out.
I'm gonna do what I want. I don't give a fuck what the coach says.
Listen, Rico, you didn't hear me say he didn't care what the coach thinks. You didn't hear me say that. I said he don't care who the coach is. He don't care who the coach is.
Exactly. So
because LaMelo Ball already has his blueprint of what he's going to do through this NBA landscape. Same as LeBron.
I wouldn't put it.
Okay, maybe to you.
I wouldn't put
same
that
as LeBron had his blueprint. What he's going to do. Do you think LeBron cared? Paul Silas was his coach, and everybody knew he wasn't the right coach for LeBron. You think he cared?
I wouldn't.
You think he cared that?
That's cool. You could say that in hindsight. You could say that in hindsight.
You can't say it in hindsight because he never complained. LeBron never complained. The media complained. LeBron needs a coach like Pop. What?
That's not true.
What? You better. Okay.
LeBron.
Listen, hold on. Whoa. You say it's not true. So if you say it's not true, that ultimately makes me a lie. I'm talking about then, not now. LeBron is almost 40 years old now. He ain't finna go through no bull crap ringer through the washer. He ain't finna do all that now. I'm talking about when he was coming through the NBA, maybe his first 5 years. LeBron didn't talk. He wasn't talking. The media was doing all the talking. Get Paul Silas out of there. Get Mike Brown out of there. You follow what I'm saying? Then they gave him the other coach, and then he pushed that coach out. But not in his early years. LeBron wasn't sitting up there. If he was very passive aggressive because it showed he Listen, but now it doesn't work. It doesn't work because we got internet. I mean, we got the what's your name now? It ain't no facts. We got the what's your name now?
Dex, to this day, he be sending
we have social media now that anything that he can do out there is going to get out.
That's passive aggressive.
We only had USA Today, the New York Post, the Washington Post, the LA Times, the Herald Examiner. We only had those type of things back then. We didn't have the internet like we have it now. The internet was something new coming into 2003, 2004, and all that, coming after the Y2K and all that type of stuff. The internet was barely new.
I remember that. I lived in that era.
Dex, I'm just saying, as someone who's watched LeBron's
only thing I'm saying is that I hate when people have these narratives and they forget history. They do not attach. They do not attach what we got now to history. They just think that everything was the same as it is today. It was yesterday, and that's far from the truth. So if he was passive aggressive, it wasn't getting out there, and if it wasn't getting out there, then the masses of the people feel he wasn't saying anything. And that's what I'm going on. Unless you was there listening to him talk himself, you got to go on what was printed, because that was the voice and that was the narrative that was being painted. LeBron, he's not saying anything. These coaches, they're going to hold back his career and things of that nature. But once he got that power shot, LeBron can't be quiet now. He can't be quiet now. Yeah, if I'm lying, yes or no. He tweets on everything. He comments on everything. He can't be quiet now.
Because
he wasn't like that in the beginning.
Because in Miami, respectfully too, there was even a thing where he was like, he wanted to get Pat Riley to coach him and everything like that.
Yeah.
Because Eric Spoelstra wasn't going. Yeah. So he definitely was,
You feel me? So I know what I'm talking about. Now, if you can't remember, don't say it's a lie. Just say, well, I don't recollect. I'm not sure about that.
I never said I couldn't remember, Dex. I said I do remember, but I'm like you said, it's not mass printed. Not everything's on Twitter. Not everything's on Instagram 5 seconds after. But back then, yes, LeBron was very passive aggressive, and he still is doing it to this day.
Not as much though, like Rico, because he's commenting on everything.
Because he has the
every time you look around, he's commenting on everything. He don't even be quiet.
That's not what I'm saying, Dex. I'm just saying it was always there. That's what I'm telling you. And like he's always been that person.
Even the comment is strategically passive though, but
maybe y'all didn't see it, or maybe it's more we could see it more now for sure because it wasn't available everything.
Like that.
Exactly. But if you watched him and you watch his post-game press conferences and all of those other interviews he would have, he was very passive aggressive.
I know he's passive aggressive. I just said that already. But it wasn't whatever he was feeling. It wasn't just seeping out into the media as an explosion, or he dropped a bomb, or he busted Adams like he's doing now, or he did since he won his championship. I was basically waiting until somebody say LeBron was quiet because he didn't have no rings. Kobe had all the rings. I was waiting on somebody to say that because that's exactly what was going on. You feel me?
That was a fact.
Until LeBron got his ring, then LeBron, and listen, the king is crowned. The king is crowned.
Yeah.
Right? He's not a king without a throne.
You think they were trying to crown him after that first finals run?
And
as a Laker fan, because I remember that. And I
was crowning him before he even had a ring, Rico. Remember?
That's what I'm saying. Like around 07, they was already trying to crown him.
Can I add to this two-way conversation?
Go ahead, Coffee.
Shout out to the panel. Shout out to the chat.
Okay.
With the session of Isaiah Curry, you always on some BS, brother. But you'll be all right. Now, I'm gonna stress both points. Dex makes a good point. Rico makes a good point. Let's start with Dex's point. Do y'all remember Dex's point?
Nah, go ahead. Remind the chat.
You don't remember Dex's point?
Which one are we talking about? Are we talking about Mike D'Antoni not being a good coach for him?
Exactly.
Go ahead, Coffee.
So I'm gonna disagree with that. What Dex said when Dex said D'Antoni wouldn't teach Melo. We don't need Melo to be taught anything. Jordan wasn't taught nothing. Kobe Bryant wasn't taught nothing until Tex Winters came up in there with Jordan and Kobe Bryant, and that was just taught to just believe in a triangle offense. When you got great players like Lamelo Ball, he's a great player. He's another freak of nature. Add him to that list. You don't need you can't coach nothing like that. He already told you who he wanted. Mark Jackson, they denied it. So they on their bullshit. And he knew what was up in the beginning. Everything that we discuss on this panel, everything that's be discussed in the chat, you think the Ball family don't know that? You think LeVar don't talk to them about the same shit we be talking about? And they talked about this several months ago, possibly even last year. But like Dex said, Melo already know what he want to do. It's already in stone. And we all talked about this. He's not going to be that. They ain't going to be with Charlotte. Charlotte showed blatantly disrespect for years since he's been there as a rookie.
I've been saying that for a minute.
But what Rico's saying makes a whole lot of sense as well. If D'Antoni do give him the freedom and he loves point guards to just run, why not give LaMelo the freedom and the option if you want to play like Harden or want to play like LaMelo play? Now, LaMelo is a very cerebral player, very smart player. He's been playing overseas in Australia, grown men. He's already seasoned. He's under his father, LeVar Ball, since he was a baby. He knows the game. What we all want LaMelo to have, like Luka, like John Morant, is freedom. That don't mean he's going to go crazy and be ballistic like James Harden did down there in Houston. Rave also made a good point. It was a time that James Harden was balling in Houston. He couldn't do no wrong. We all remember this.
Couldn't do nothing wrong.
You just see the end product now, and it don't look so good. Well, James Harden is not a LaMelo Ball.
Yeah.
LaMelo Ball is a prodigy. This is a difference. A huge difference. You can't group LaMelo Ball with everybody else. You can't go on numbers that you don't saw LaMelo play for the past 2 years. They're not even the numbers. This man is a whole different level of monster. You got to look at the eye test. Like when you saw Jordan first come in the league, you just knew something was special. You're like, why? He was third pick.
Right.
When you saw Kobe Bryant, you knew he was something special. Even when he shot the air ball at Utah, you're like, damn, this is Kobe Bryant. Didn't nobody teach him? He just played with another
Phil. But I think
dude.
Phil helped out. Phil helped
out because Phil had Michael Jordan. You didn't teach. Kobe was still rebooting all that shit.
Yeah.
Think about it. He had another great player in Shaq. You ain't got to help out. You ain't got to do nothing. Have another monster like Shaq, and you got Kobe. That's crazy. You ain't got to do much. Well, LaMelo Ball knows exactly what he want to do. This man is a premier.
And I also feel like D'Antoni will help that LaMelo because you'll get that Phoenix.
Hold on, Rico.
Get D'Antoni out your mind.
Hold on, Rico. It ain't even about a coach with LaMelo because Charlotte already proven they didn't give LaMelo the #1 jersey. They didn't give him nothing what he wanted. So he don't care at this point. Whatever. He's just waiting for the whole shit to be over with. Let me get these 4 years, get this shit out the way. I'm out of here. I'm up. There's a lot of things going on. You might even still see Lonzo in LA. They talking about this shit now. Don't nobody know. But Sky was one of the first ones that said, if what's the name leave out of that Zach LaVine, then Zoe gonna leave behind. That's his boy. Sky was the first one that said that. But we got to give respect what respect due. Don't nobody know this basketball shit. And it doesn't matter all those brilliant minds that people think are brilliant minds, Mitch Kupchak under Jerry West, them, all that shit. Like Dex said, that is the good old boy system. But they don't mean they know modern basketball 2022. That's the old traditional paradigm. Shit changed. You got to listen to the young guys. If you're not listening to LaMelo, if you're not talking to LaMelo, if you don't have no dialogue with LaMelo, and you're just going to say, fuck you, LaMelo, and bring a coach in here, I don't care what you think, if you're not going to even lie, you're not going to even front, you're not going to even act like you're talking to him, that's blatantly disrespect. So when they do that, Big Wall already discussed it. They already talked about this shit. Possibly even last year. They know what's up. They know what they up against. But y'all about to see some greatness in that ball. Them Ball family, dog. Starting with Jello in the Summer League. He gonna do some things that's gonna shock a lot of people. Not the Ball family. He's not gonna even shock me. For the ones that know basketball, you ain't gonna be shocked. You just know the system that they up against. Mm-hmm. So when you talk about the D'Antoni, the Mark Jackson, people still didn't give Mark Jackson a job. They fucking with him at Sacramento. They playing games with him at LA. Mark Jackson is, I mean, it's ridiculous that they've been doing this for years. But it's blatant, it's obvious.
Yep.
But Lamelo Ball, this dude is down there 6'7", 6'8" point guard. You can't teach height. The man is a genius in basketball.
Facts.
He know the damn game. All he averaged 18 to 20, that's an understatement. The man can average 40. It's like basketball just comes so easy for him. So when Charlotte doing what they're doing, I wouldn't be surprised if Charlotte trade LaMelo. They know he ain't gonna never listen to them.
Good point, Basil. That's what I've been saying, Basil.
You gonna mess around and see what's happening when everything go down, when everything materialize. That's why it's interesting to just watch this whole summer take place after the draft. You're gonna see a lot of changes, a lot of moving parts. And it's gonna make sense. But now, Charlotte don't care. They want to hire who they want to hire. Whatever, they don't. You can't stop Melo. So when people say Melo should say he's not gonna play this year, Melo should say trade me. He don't have to say none of that shit. He doesn't say what he had to say in Slam magazine. He ain't got to say nothing else.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Listen, it's really mind-boggling to me for the intellect to be on this panel day in and day out, who gets inside info about what's going on and some of the aspects of the people that we're connected to, but seem to take a contrary route. It's mind-boggling to me. You know what I'm saying? And this is what sometimes we fight against. It's like we fighting uphill stream when we already have the roadmap. We got the roadmap to what these celebrities going to do. You follow what I'm saying? And for you to take the uphill or the most difficult path instead of taking the path of water of least resistance, because that's what we represent here at Flight Sports TV. Now, we can't say that about some other players, but some players we can say it about because we have inside info. You follow what I'm saying? Might not know the whole dynamic, but we have enough to put the puzzle together. We can kind of see where this thing is going. You feel me? And then to have a take that's kind of contrary to that, it's kind of mind-boggling. And then when we just had an interview with our beloved brother, Bone Collector, maybe some of you guys might need to go back and listen to the things that came out of his mouth, because apparently either you don't believe it or you just haven't been privy to seeing that interview. And when you have interviews like that, that should be one of the biggest interviews on Flight Sports TV right now in these flight streets. You guys should be over there liking it, viewing it, and upping that, because he gave us a lot of different insight. If you really paid attention to what he was saying, some stuff he said he couldn't talk about, you heard it. He said, I can't talk about that right now. But other things that he did talk about was very insightful. And if you paid attention to what LeVar said on Flight Sports TV, what Zach said, and what Lonzo said, and what Lamelo said, I mean, it's all right there in front of you. It's not like it's hidden. It's very clandestine. It's right there. All you got to do is just put it together, and you basically see where this ball is bouncing. No pun intended.
Think about.
Hold on. Let me address something real quick. Because him saying that, I don't know where that target is directed towards, because the people that's very, I wouldn't say Rico and Belize is in that circle that's very close like that. And if my perspective is, I already been through the angle, because I'm the first one who said on Flight Sports TV that the Hornets was not the damn destination. And I remember having an argument with Dex about Hornets not being the destination, especially when I remember hearing on the interview Lamelo saying, whoever fuck with my brother is who I'm gonna fuck with. And them Hornets been not fucking with Jello. Especially they was not fucking with Jello even before the seasons even started, before the G League. That summer league, after that first 2 games, they was doing bullshit with Jello. So I already knew Melo was up out of there. It was all of y'all that kept coming at me with the energy about Hornets this, Hornets that. They're gonna make a big big move of what they're gonna do in the future. They're gonna make a whole new restoration. I said, hell the fuck no. What is the energy about this Hornets? I said that. I swear to God, I said that all season. Now
the Charlotte Bobcats.
Now here come the Hornets. Now listen. To their credit, Hornets did have a little something. Yes, they was the team to get Jello on their G League. Yes, they had a little Kelly Oubre doing his thing. They was still doing good. But from what I saw, James Borrego, his bullshit, the offense wasn't right. They got no big men there, and then they treating Jello up in there and that bullshit. Hey man, I've been said that. So I mean, I've been knew where the idea was. It definitely was not going to be no damn Hornets.
When you think about it, that was the best thing that ever happened to Jello because he didn't take the traditional route like everybody else, right? So the average person would have got angry after scoring 22 points a game. 22 points that first game, and you're not getting a chance to play the second, the third, or the fourth, or the fifth game. Average person would have left and quit. The fact that Jello stayed, because he talked to his father and talked to his people that survived him, and he's also a powerful, headstrong dude. He knows exactly what was going on. They know exactly what was getting himself into before they put him on the team, and he know exactly what he was up against. So it was great that went down and that thing materialized like it is because he finished the year strong, finished the year positive, and the naysayers can't say, oh, see, look, he quit just like they did everything else, pulled out of school. No, he did exactly what he needed to do, stayed there for a year, and now all other teams that's in a bid, that's a bidding war, there's some things going on that's not being said, and they about to showcase Jello even more. A lot of teams want Jello, but don't be surprised you don't see them playing with Zoe. You know what I'm saying? Whether it be the Chicago Bulls or the Lakers, don't be surprised to see him playing with Zoe. And when Melo's contract up, he's going right with his brothers.
Right. Rico has something to say. Go ahead, Rico, because we've been cutting you off. I'm sorry.
No, you good. No, before this season, I tried asking the panel if there'd be any drawbacks if LaMelo Ball requested a trade from the Charlotte Hornets, because personally, I never thought that he would even finish off his rookie contract there. But the thing was, and I addressed it, is that when a player of that caliber, when he does things like this, it comes up in the CBA, in the collective bargaining agreement. So LaMelo Ball, in my opinion, he should force his way out of Charlotte. Like if that's the plan, I wouldn't even waste the next 2 years of my career there, just because they're gonna end up having his bird rights, so they could try to keep him there even longer and signing him to a max contract, just maxing him. But
facts, that's a fact too. That's a big fact.
That's what I'm saying. If what I'm as far as LaMelo goes, I've always been on the request to trade train. He needs to get out of there. I'm not trying to. We've talked about this plenty of times where people have gone on and said he's only going to be there 3 years. He's only going to be there 4 years, whatever. Like, no, they have his bird rights. There's ways that you have to go around the NBA. They can try to keep him there long term until he has to force his way out. If you're leaving anyways, just leave now.
So let me ask you a question.
Go ahead, Coffee.
So let me ask the panel a question. Is 6 heads better than 1?
Is 6 what?
Is 6 heads thinking about a situation better than 1?
Yes.
What about 12 heads? Is 12 heads better than 6?
Yes.
Everything Rico said is 1,000% correct. But y'all don't think they don't thought about this already?
Right.
You don't think they know what the next move to do? If that was the move, they would have did that last year? Or if that's still the move, they'll do it this year?
Bro, I said it. Thank you.
I don't think. No, Coffee. What I'm saying is, I don't think you could just make that decision, because there will be consequences in the collective bargaining agreement. You can't just let's say, for example, Ja Morant out of nowhere just says, you know what, I want out of Memphis. Or Luka Doncic, I want out of Dallas. These type of players in the first or second year of their contract, they show their superstars and they just force their way out. The owners aren't going to like that.
Rico, did you just say
Anthony Davis just sitting out for however long he wants to?
Zion damn near tried it.
Exactly. We see plenty of players doing it now, trying it.
Rico,
I don't think they're going to let rookies do it.
So Rico, let me get this right. Did you say why should Lamelo play out his term, his contract, should he just start voicing himself now? Did you say that or not?
I said, in my opinion, yes, because I don't think Charlotte is a good place for him. I think he should try to get out of Charlotte.
Okay, so now
tell the general manager, tell the owner, tell Jordan, tell Mitch, yo, I want out of here. Trade me for something.
Okay, so it sounded like paradox. It sounded like you're saying say something, and then you sound like you're saying CBA might.
That's not what I'm saying, Coffee. No, what I'm saying is, if that's what he feels really is good for his career, he could do it. That's what I'm saying. If in my opinion, it's best for his career to request a trade. What I'm telling you though is, they have him between a rock and a hard place because that things like this will come up in the collective bargaining agreement. That's why I said I think it's good for his career, but they're gonna shame him in the public. The NBA media is gonna try to run his name through the dirt.
They did that already. They did that already. So we ain't worried about running the name through the dirt. So what I'm thinking is, and you make a good point, Rico. What I'm thinking is, everything that we discuss on this panel, everything that we even talk about, they play in chess. They see these moves. They can say these things. They can do these actions.
They calculate it.
Right. They very calculated. Very calculated. And I believe that. And it's not just LeVar. It's a team of other agents and lawyers and attorneys. There's all type of everything that's involved that they listen to, and before they make their next move. Every move that LeVar made. Think about this. Every move LeVar made been very successful. Every move. It's not one move LeVar made that wasn't successful. Every move. Think about that. Even with Jello playing with the what's name team, because didn't nobody else give him a shot. So the fact that he played on that Charlotte team and he played for the whole year, that looked great on his resume. Now we ready for the NBA. My personal opinion, he's ready for the NBA last year. Yeah. But they didn't see it this way because he didn't go the traditional route, getting drafted from college. So he put on. I'm so glad he stayed and didn't get frustrated and say, no, fuck it. That's the easiest thing to do. That's the simplest thing to do. But I'm so glad he stayed and finished that year. Now they got so much in their ammunition, so much more to work with, and that's why you see everybody back there in California working out, getting it in, and you best believe they blowing their phone up. Hey, Lamelo, can we talk about this? Hey, Zoe, can we talk about that? They ain't talking to them people.
Coffee. And Coffee, it's funny. It's funny you say that you happy he stayed the whole season, right? Because again, I'm gonna testify that at that game in Long Island, right? That was like right after the Antonio Brown situation with him walking off the court, right? So I was like, yo. And I was like, yo, bro, just pull an Antonio Brown, just walk off the court. And like, yeah, he looked back and he was laughing at me, bro. And he shook his head and shit, right? And it was like, you saying that is just funny to me, like,
right.
Because my attitude, I would have been left.
Belief, and it's funny if you write beliefs, and look, any normal person would have done that shit. But look, we got to see what we up against. We up against a systematic theory, and like Dex said, it's the good old boy system. So we got to show something different. You can't show your whole hand. And one thing LeVar do, he never show his whole hand. I love the way he move. I love the way the ball family is strategic, because every move they make be incredible moves. Everybody else just look for the smaller version. Oh, Zoe's always injured. Y'all looking at the smallest shit. Y'all ain't seen the bigger picture. Y'all missing the big picture. You really missing the big picture. This is the Ball family. It's $1 billion family with $1 billion ideas. And every move they make is always successful. Always successful. Everybody get the chance to laugh, but the same thing make you laugh, make you cry. Because when it's all over with, people like, oh, fucking LeVar, that was genius. Wow, I didn't see that coming. LeVar did. They already talked about it.
Oh, man. Let me tell you something. I will never forget it. And these are the last two things I'm addressing. One of them, I was on Hoop Giant Stream, and he had LeVar. And LeVar said this, and I said it a long time ago, I'm going to say it again. He said, no matter what happens, I want y'all to know there's going to be a time where they cannot step into anything because my boy's contracts is going to be up. People forgot Zoe has an option on that third year. Zoe has an option on that third year. Jello is an easy pickup. That's a easy sign that you could pick him up for nothing. Melo, I don't know how many years he got left in his contract. 2.
He has 2. But the problem is, the 2, right?
They have his bird rights.
they have the bird right. So that's the problem because now
it's like 6
it doesn't
years.
matter. Right. That's right there. So he will have to basically again because again like it doesn't matter like if any team whatever they send him they could Charlotte have the right to match it, and that's most likely what they would do because of the fact of that Melo is bringing in revenue. All of these things they want to control the narrative, control the situation. They'll match it. Yes, he'll get paid, but then after that, then they'll have the right to say, oh, we could trade them to whatever team we want, do what we want, get what we want from them, and then that's when that game starts, in my opinion.
Exactly.
Now,
That's what I've been trying to tell you. That whole he's a free agent in 2 years. No, that's false hope. That's false dreams, bro. They have his bird rights. He's a restricted free agent. That's what he is, a restricted free agent. Like Belize said, they could send him a $200 million contract. He could sign the contract with let's say the Bulls send him $200 million, a contract for 4 years to sign. He could sign it. So for all of 30 seconds, he will be part of the Chicago Bulls. Because the second the Charlotte Hornets see his name with any contract, they're gonna match it. That's it. That's just they're not stupid. But they know exactly what you could get for Lamelo Ball. He's a future superstar, future top 5 player. You could get half a team for him.
But just like you said, Rico, when a player don't want to be there, they got ways to get up out of there. Yeah. And so so we don't trip on 2 years. A player can move just like every player that wanted to leave a team, they was very successful.
But that goes into now this season, and that's where I feel like we will see it on Rico point because they know he knows also that this is going to be the case with his bird rights and everything like that. And this will be the time, like, all right, if I'm gonna get traded, you don't have to trade me now or whatever we about to do because it's no turning back, especially after what Mitch just said. Is definitely no turning back because again, off the strength of they already violated his brother. He already said that he felt like his season, whatever. And especially if he not gonna give him the one jersey, he already said he's not playing in a one jersey. So that I feel like was the key. So that I feel like is very key because now if they offer him to come back into next season with number 2 jersey and he's saying he's not playing, it's gonna be basically because I told you I'm not playing in number 2 jersey, and then it's gonna be, him forcing his way out.
And that's how Charlotte is petty as hell. A good business owner of any business, something that makes you money, bring in more revenue, you ain't trying to disrupt that. You're gonna be as kind, as generous, and do what you gotta do to keep on producing masses of money. No matter if you're a billionaire. What do a billionaire love? A billionaire love making more money. So that's what all of them do. So when you make a person like Lamelo and you think you can make him do this and think you can make him do that, no, he don't need your money. Like I personally think the man fucking around gonna be a billionaire before the season start. All these great deals he got going on, so he gonna need your money. He's maxed out right now. Before that little contract, they offer him of a max deal. So when you doing petty shit, Michael Jordan, and you say, "Oh, we're gonna fire James Borrego, make him be the fall guy," but you still keep Mitch, it's the same bullshit, But they laughing. See, LaMelo laughing. We just having a conversation about this shit. They laughing at this shit. They got cereal commercials. They laughing about this shit because they already know what they're gonna do. Just like Dex said early on, they already know what's about to happen. So when you know what's about to happen, you won't even trip. All the other shit, they got the bird rights. They got all that shit ain't gonna mean nothing. If I don't want to play for you, I'm not gonna play for you. You can't make me play. All you can do is find me. You can take that money. I don't even take your $300 million. I don't even need it. Take your $240 million. I don't even need it. You know how sick that is to say I don't need your $240-something million. You know how much money?
He's not even getting that for this season. You seen what Ben Simmons did. Respectfully, I'm not trying to count his money, but his probably for the season he probably gonna make maybe like respectfully like somewhere in that $3-4 million. Melo getting that off endorsements alone.
Melo get that off one of them watches he got. The man got so many deals, just crazy. Like he don't miss none of that shit. It's so different than any other player ever in the history of the game. I mean, this man they setting up deals and they doing lucrative deals for 3 months, 6 months, very lucrative deals. I'm talking about 50 million here, 100 million, and don't nobody even know about this until this shit come out. This shit about to come out. When this shit come out, how much money he done made, accumulated so far, you gonna say, but damn, he ain't even got the fucking max. You don't even need that max. He get max right now. It's just like Ball Facts put a great video up with Kyrie Irving, and they talking about Nike dropping him this, that, and other. Then he said, what LeVar offered him, look, I'm gonna offer you ownership. I'm gonna give you 40%. I get 60%. You get 40%. You know how big that is? Nike and Reeboks, nobody give you ownership. They give you little funky, little petty ass deals. 10 million here, 20 million there, $100 million deal for 5 years, 6 years. But they make $billions of dollars up off you. So when you get ownership, fucking everything that Nike gave Kyrie Irving up until this point, he gonna make that shit in 1 year if he signed with BBB. In 1 year. That's crazy. So when you think about what LeVar doing in the BBB, it's a plan. It's something so amazing. Think about what Lamelo doing. All they doing, they just be working on their game, getting better and better. Not for no fucking Charlotte, for themselves. And ain't nobody teaching them right now. Think about that. They ain't got no D'Antoni. They ain't got no Mark Jackson. And they constantly getting better and better every fucking summer. Think about that. When you bring in Bone Crusher, the Bone Collector, and if you know anything about the Bone Collector, how he been playing, he played with Ray for Austin, played with them at-1 teams, and how cold he is over the years. You see what he said when they interviewed him, and I believe Dex asked him this question. Who you think this kind of said this kind of like a sneaky question? I went back and checked out the tape. He said, "Who you think better, Lamelo or Jello?" And Bone Collector didn't give no answer and said they both work hard. They both incredible. They both amazing. They both work really hard. So when you think about that, the Bone Collector got respect for LeVar, because if he didn't want to, he could have just said this shit. It's respect, and he know Jello cold as well. All them boys cold, and that's coming from him. So when you think about all the politics, we just look at the politics of this shit. We want everything to go right. In a more perfect world, everything will go right, but it's not. It's 2022, and you got to put up with all this bullshit that you go through with GMs and people that don't really know the game. They just go the game off the old traditional paradigm. You can't do that. It's like if you're an artist, right, and you singing or rapping, well, can't nobody in the room be 75 years old, 85 years old. You got to have some young people in the room, some 20-year-old people in the room that going to hit this artist and going to tell you what's the shit and what's the flavor is out here, you know? So, you know, it's just something that it's good to have good dialogue, but, man, them boys, Mellow, man, they chilling, dog. They chilling so much. It's amazing. They getting better and better every time, dog.
I totally agree with you, bro. Right.
And Belize, I'm glad you're on here, because I'm gonna take you up on that situation with New York. We gonna put something together and get those what's the name. So I'll make sure you get to my Instagram and drop me a DM.
For real though, man, for real, because like, you know, next season, man, I definitely want to put something together with the team, man. I feel like next season gonna be one of those traditional nice seasons, especially for the brothers, because I do believe Jello is gonna make the team, man, and I believe like he's gonna play with more so Zoe next season. I feel like Melo is gonna have to go through that, get me out of this situation and everything like that. I feel like that's gonna be a stigma that's gonna be on him, and it's gonna kind of be ugly, but he's gonna rise from that as well. But I do think, you know, next season gonna be nice, and I'm looking forward to it. I hope my Knicks could really be good though, man. I hope we get a point guard, man. I've been screaming Fox, but I really think Dame should just come to New York and just set us on fire one time.
I think y'all gonna be who y'all gonna be, but I just think it's gonna be better once we all together and you able to get that sweep like you said. Because I want to, when this situation I got working on, when this go through, I want to get about 5 of those sweeps. You said you can get it for $800 a piece, right?
That's a fact.
$800 a piece, and you said it's a fact. I love that. So I'm gonna take some of the guys on Flight Sports, and we're gonna have shirts and all that business right there. So the people that's really contributing is really the ones I really want to take. And what I mean by contributing, I don't just mean just being on a panel, just having dialogue, but, you know, giving up that money and believing in Flight. You know what I'm saying? You know,
right. And that's exactly why, like, I even brought it up to the panel, and I wanted to make it happen sooner. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah,
but,
yeah, but
it's all on timing.
Yeah, what I'm saying, but before that happens, we got to get, like, people got to start getting like $5 a week or $10 a week, something like that, just to add on. We got a lot of people on the panel and a lot of people in the chat. They think we begging. It ain't no begging. I'm damn near rich. It ain't no begging. You know what I'm saying? And I believe we all wealthy and rich in our mind. The mindset's where the money comes first anyway. You can't get no money without the mindset. You produce money with your mindset. Whatever your mind can believe, you can achieve. So it's like it starts right there. But we got to contribute something. It's not like no offering. It's not like no going to church and you doing this. But if you think about it, you trick off on $5 a week on stupid stuff, and you just get $5 for flight and support the channel and this, that, and other. People that I always see all the time just contributing is Basil. And I don't even be liking Basil like that because Basil be talking some stupid shit sometimes. But I love the way Basil contribute. He contribute and he'll get $20 here, he get $30 there. And I'm saying, if we're gonna be on this panel, everybody on the panel, especially on the panel, I feel it's so disrespectful. If you're on a panel, you ain't gave up at least $20. There's something going on. Because now you're just taking advantage. Now you're just like, I'm coming up here. I know Flack gonna let me talk. I know you're gonna let me rip. So I'm gonna rip and I'm gonna talk and I'm gonna do this. And then I'm gonna get off. And then everybody else gonna say, hit that like button, hit that sub. Fuck all that. That's the simple shit to say. That's the easy shit. They should be doing that anyway. Everybody should be giving up $5 or $10. And it ain't no begging. It's just something you should do. Especially, if you can't go to no other channel and come up on their panel like this, ain't nobody else doing this type of shit. It's brotherhood. I believe in all you brothers. A lot of you brothers got some great insight. From Rico to Unstoppable to Belize to, Access Dex to, Athletic One. You guys have some incredible takes, man. Zen Master, Marvin. You guys got some incredible takes, but you got to match it. And I ain't saying match your takes with your finances because you probably never can do that because you talk so much, but you can contribute something, $10 here, $20 there, at least something per week. All right. But I'm gonna get up out of here. I got this business to take care of. I always love chatting with you guys, man. I love you guys, man. My brothers. Please, I'm gonna take you up on that Belize. Make sure you hit my inbox, DM me your number, or something like that. We gonna connect.
Facts. Drop that in a private chat for me, bro. Before you go.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm gonna do that right now. Yes, sir. Love you, brothers. Access Dex and Rave. Love you, brothers, man. Flight for sure.
All right.
I guess we're about to get up out of here, y'all.
Yeah, man, that was a lovely chat, man.
Yeah, we want to touch bases on this Lamelo Ball stuff. We appreciate all y'all. It's Flight Sports Live.
Flight Sports TV, man. That's my dude. I rolls with him.
You heard what the man said. It's Flight Sports TV.